Hello everybody, how are you doing today? I'm Kenny Stahl. Welcome to the live stream. This is Kenny Stahl Live. I don't know how this is going to go. I probably shouldn't be streaming right now because I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm not ready for this. When I went to go start the stream, I had to click a little button that said start stream, and then I click it and it says, are you sure you want to start the stream? I had to click yes, otherwise I wouldn't be here. But believe me, the answer is no. So, yeah, I mean, this is just the third stream in recent times, and I just want to talk, let you guys know what I'm thinking about. Life is complicated. Like, life is way too complicated for me at any given moment to feel like I have anything to say about it. But, you know, I care about people. I want to talk to you guys. I'm bored. That's part of it, and I don't know what else to do. We have Isaac here in the chat saying hi, so thank you so much. Life is a Pancake saying, hey, Kenny, how you doing? Hope you're feeling well and not depressed. Happy thoughts, Kenny. I am actually neither happy nor unhappy or depressed right now. I'm contemplating some of the deeper things about life. Thinking about concepts that are, I don't know, I'm thinking about God and the idea that life is this infinite place and how we are all, I'm trying to think about what is the ego. I'm getting really deep into some of this stuff, although it is way too far out in terms of stuff that I can even understand. I try to go into some of this more deeper religious stuff, spirituality and stuff like that, and I just can't completely get a grasp on what any of this is, because there's I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna pretend like it doesn't exist right now. I'm on camera. I'm here for you guys. Hello everybody, how's it going? So we have oh hey there we have, I clicked like my life depended on it. Well, it doesn't, so I'm glad you're here though. I'm feeling numb. Yes, numbness. What is numbness? Numbness is it can be understood by saying that you don't feel anything, which is emotionless, and it is. I don't know what I can say about numbness. The idea that you just don't really feel anything, but happy is a weird word though. You know what's funny? Okay, so I was watching this. It's a clip on YouTube. It was just a bunch of people talking on like a TV show. What was it called? Let me look it up real quick. I've watched this several times. It's from comedians. Because I like to watch Bo Burnham. I don't know if you've ever seen his performance. He has one on Netflix. There's Bo Burnham in the green room with Paul Provenza. It's a comedian thing. Anyway, so I was watching that. If you haven't watched it, it's pretty interesting. I've watched it several times mostly because Bo Burnham is there, and they talk a lot about they talk about stuff. They get into it. So one of the guys on there was one of the comedians on that show in that particular episode or whatever. It's Gary Shandling, passed away unfortunately, but one of the things he said was, somebody asked if he was happy, and he said, I've been meditating for far too long to be happy. And I thought that was a really interesting quote. So if somebody ever asks you at some point if you're happy, just say, no, I've been meditating for far too long to be happy. And I think that was a pretty funny thing, pretty clever thing to say. So I don't, obviously, I'm trying to not take credit for this as if I said it. I'm trying to give you the exact reference for where I got it from that clip. But it was funny because it's almost like if you meditate for enough time, you don't really want to be happy. You just are what you are. And that's the other thing he said in the video that I'm referencing. The idea or the essence of some of this more Eastern philosophy, and I'm kind of getting this from the video that I watched. Was the idea that you're not trying to be anything. That you just are what you are. The idea of just being itself. That's what it is. You don't have to try so hard, right? Just be you. What does that mean to just be you? To just be yourself. People hear that all the time. Like, hey, what the heck does that mean? I am myself. What do you mean when you say just be yourself? That means don't try to be somebody else. Don't be fake, right? Don't pretend like you're something that you're not. Just be what you are and accept that. And I don't know why I brought that up. That was just something I wrote that down because I watched that video and I had to write it down because I thought, oh, that's interesting. Let me take a note of that. And I wrote it out just to remember it. And hey, I said it to you guys. So awesome. All these churches teach bull, to be honest. No, they don't. I can tell you that. They don't. There's probably some nonsense in there, but if that's all you take away from it, then, you know, there's gonna be stuff within the religious teachings that is simply based on people making stuff up. There's gonna be stuff in religion based on misinterpretations of things that are possibly more meaningful. There's going to be things in religion that are profound and meaningful and insightful. So I think that if you're going to look into religion at all, that you have to look for the insightful stuff. You have to look for the deeper stuff that gives you some sort of an understanding of life itself and who you are in this life and what that means. And you have to come out of it with some meaning. And if you look into religion and you think it's all meaningless, then you're basically saying that life itself is meaningless, which you can think that. I feel that. I feel like life is meaningless, but I'm hoping that it's not. Like, I feel like all of this is just nothing, and it is a soul-crushing thing to feel like it's all nothing, to feel like everything. But here's the thing, is that life, it is nothing. Life is, in some sense, meaningless, but it's also everything, and it's also the most meaningful thing that you'll ever experience. So it's both, right? It's that idea of contrasting ideas. So, I'm scared when I go to the casting, they'll reject me for your modeling career will be over. Yeah, scared of rejection. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. But you know, it's just, are you willing to face that rejection or not? That's the big question. The fear that you have of being rejected is that you don't want someone else to look at you and say, hey, you're not good enough, right? But if you get over that fact before you walk in there and you say, I don't care if you accept me or not accept me, then you won't have anything to be afraid of. But that, or you can just throw yourself into the situation and just deal with the consequences either way. Either way, you're going to be dealing with some sort of consequence. Either if you pursue it and you get rejected, you're going to obviously deal with the feelings of being rejected. If you avoid it, you're going to have to deal with the feelings of, well, I missed out, right? So it's just, what do you want to go for? And hopefully you can reach a point where you can say, I'm just going to go for it. If I get rejected, I get rejected. But getting over the fear of rejection is learning to love yourself no matter what. And I mean, that's really what self-love is all about. That's what self-esteem is, sort of, I guess. I don't know. Hi, Kenny. How are you today? Good to see you live streaming. Yeah, I'm just here. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm probably digging myself into a deeper and deeper hole by talking about stuff that is way over my head that I don't understand. And I probably shouldn't be streaming right now. Before I started streaming, I said, I don't really want to stream right now because I'm not really thinking clearly right now. But I said I have to do it. I have to put myself out there. I have to get on camera. And just say what I think in the moment, and if it sounds crazy or if I don't know what I'm really talking about, there's no looking back. There's no looking back. In your life, you have to move forward. There's no looking back. You can sit there and think about what you're saying is, and you can overthink it. You can run things through your head. Am I doing everything right? Or you can just do it, not look back, and not have to worry about being nervous and stuff like that. And that's the approach that I'm kind of taking more and more in my life, is instead of letting that fear rule me, control me, and prevent me from saying anything or doing anything for that matter. You can take action in your life, or you can think about what you want to do and not do it, and worry about what people think about you. Right? But that goes back to this aspect of just being. That goes back to this aspect of things just are what they are. And this idea of, the idea of rejection. Like, a lot of times, I've heard Gary Vaynerchuk preach about this over and over in the videos that I've watched of him, where he's talked about how his idea is that everybody's, like, what people are mostly afraid of is what someone else thinks of you, right? Everybody has, this fear that, your mom or your dad, isn't going to accept who you are or what you are. Or maybe it's like you're afraid of what some girl or what some guy is going to think of you, or what your teachers or what your peers think of you. It's like most people are in their heads worried about what other people think about them. And that's just the way that we are. That is just the way that we are. But it's so fascinating to me to think about, like, what if you could just not care? What would that be like? Do you think your channel is going to be just on mental illness or other things? No, my channel is just me thinking about stuff, trying to understand stuff. That's all it is. It's just, that's all I want you guys to know about this channel, is the channel is just me trying to understand stuff. A lot of that has to do with psychology and how we perceive things, and beliefs. So a lot of the stuff I talk about on this channel is depression. Like, it's the mindset thing. Like, depression is partially just like what do you believe? Like, if you're depressed, you're going to believe that, life is meaningless, or that you're a loser, or that, that's like low self-esteem, right? And the idea is, how do you perceive life? How do you perceive yourself? And that's mostly what I'm interested in. And why? Why are you afraid of things? Why are you so scared? When I look at myself and how much I'm nervous around people, and how much I overthink things, and I'm shy and quiet and stuff. Like, I'm more so trying to understand myself in that sense, where in these videos, I guess I talk a lot about, depression and stuff, because I'm just, in the moment, like, I feel depressed at times, and I've made videos talking about that. So I just kind of talk about it. But for those of you guys who are just joining, maybe you're new to my channel. I don't know. I apologize. I'm in a very weird spot right now where I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure things out, and I just know that I have this, my channel. I have people watching me, and it's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know at the moment. I'm just here. So, what genre of music do you listen to? For me, I don't really listen to a lot of music. Have you taken your own advice? A lot of times I don't take my own advice. It's just trying to understand stuff. But as far as, like, actually, like, real stuff that you can actually do in your life, I try to. It's more of a, for me, what I try to do is, like, I try to focus on, like, little habits that I have and little things that I can stop doing. Like a lot of it's just mental that I'm mostly concerned with, is positive or negative thoughts, or whenever I'm thinking too much or something, I try to, like, in the moment realize when I'm thinking something that's not good for me. In that sense, yes, I've taken my own advice. You should have a kid so you can have a little you. That's funny. You spend a lot of time on one subject and it clearly overwhelms you. Relax and breathe. We believe in you. That's great. Sorry, I'm just, like, reading your comments. I don't really have much to say about it. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say I get overwhelmed with stuff. I just think a lot. I mean, everybody thinks a lot, but I don't know what it is exactly that I'm really trying to do. I don't really know what it is that I'm, like, where I'm going with half the stuff that I talk about, but, eh. Yes, I do live in, like, Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm surprised that you, remembered that. Please make a schedule. I mean, I'm not going to, just because I would not follow it. Although I want to at some point, but I'm like the worst at schedules and following them and stuff. I should. It might help me. I know that you guys probably want it, but yeah. So okay. So not a lot is really going on right now. Just another day. I'm feeling all right. Do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any stuff that you want to talk about? How is your girlfriend? Girlfriend's fine. Are you an atheist? I'm not an atheist. I'm not really necessarily I'm more of an agnostic, I guess. It's hard to say because, it's like, it's more of just trying to understand what people are saying about that sort of stuff. Are you a Jehovah's Witness? No, definitely not. So, yeah, have you looked into, what is that? How do you say that? Is it Sufism? Sufism? No, I haven't. What is that? Sufism. The mystical system of Sufis. I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff like that. Is in Islam? No, I haven't looked at all into Islam, and I really haven't been interested that much in Islam at all. So, I didn't realize that's how you said that. I didn't even realize that's how it was spelled. I think I've heard of that before. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm not very well educated on this stuff. Yeah, what do you... Kenny, lately I've been feeling down and just not happy, but I don't know why. I haven't been feeling depressed, just not as happy as I normally am. Yeah, I mean, like, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say about that? Because that was a statement more than a question. I mean, I can say that, happiness is, when you feel happy, I mean, there's usually some sort of reason for it. So, I mean, what I like to do is I like to think about, well, if I'm not happy, what am I missing? And I guess that's kind of like a big question, but, like, when are you happy? Like, I'm happy when I'm watching a comedy, like people like stand-up comedy or a funny show on TV. Like, I'm happy, I'm genuinely happy because, like they're jokes and, they make me laugh and I'm having a good time. I'm happy when I'm with people that I love and I care about, and nothing is going wrong. When am I happy? I'm happy when, so for you, it's like, think about what it is that would make you happy, or what do you think? I mean, happiness a lot of times comes from, like, I don't know if you've heard the phrase, happiness is progress equals happiness, or whatever it is. But the idea is that, you usually don't feel happy unless you see yourself making progress towards a goal. It's usually not necessarily actually getting to the goal that you set, but it's just the journey of trying to get there, and seeing yourself make progress. And of course, if you fail at something and if you get set back on your way to your goals, that setback is not going to be pleasant and you're not going to be happy. I've been happy when I reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Why? Because it was, I have this idea in my head that I want to make a YouTube channel and get a lot of followers. And hey, when I see that happening, I get really happy. So, we got Randy saying, hey, we got, you're a pancake. Of course, your life is going to be difficult. I miss being anorexic. I don't know why you would say that. What does that mean? I've never really talked to anybody who's been anorexic, so I don't really know. I already said hi to Randy, right? Yes, hi Randy. You got broken up with, but it didn't affect you that much? You don't think so? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's normal to not be happy or to not feel that good after stuff like that happens. Obviously, I don't really need to say that. It's pretty self-evident. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, you get broken up with somebody, of course you're not going to be happy. Like, you don't need me to say that. Why am I trying to, like, say this like I know what I'm talking about? Which country do you belong to? I'm from the United States. What country are you guys from? That is more interesting to me because there's so many of you, and I don't know anybody personally from other countries, but like the video, everybody, and show love and support. Yes. Life is a pancake said it, not me. Oh, you miss being skinny. I see. That's why he said that. Kenneth needs a dog. You're Indian but live in Spain. You're from the UK. Okay. Michigan. Are you actually from Michigan? I'm from Michigan, so I was just wondering. Or are you saying that's where I'm from? You're from Afghanistan. Cool. It's always interesting to me to hear about people from different countries. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Just kind of here. You're from Narnia. Yes, I've heard of that place. That sounds like a great place. You loved the video on social anxiety. What about that video? Like, what about social anxiety is it that you found relatable? Yeah, so this would be a really good time for you guys to keep on asking questions, keep on letting me know what you think about stuff. So, Randy, you're from Indiana, soon to be from Phoenix. That's cool. Get a Chihuahua. I would not get a Chihuahua. I don't want a dog that is going to bark all the time. So I don't even know if I want a dog. So, yes, welcome everybody who is just joining the stream. I am just here hanging out. I don't have much going on at the moment. I am doing okay. I am just, trying to keep myself in front of the camera. So, you're late again. You were busy. That's all right. You should join a club. Yeah, I think it's always a good idea to be in some sort of club or something, but I don't know what I would do. There's so many things to do. Like, it's hard to like stay on a, like, everybody can tell you like what is good advice, and I've always found that you're never gonna run out of people giving you advice. You're never gonna run out of like people saying what you should do or whatever. And for me, it's like I can't keep track of everything, you know. So, I think it's really a good idea to start from like, what do you want to do? And if you hear some advice that fits like where you want to go and it will help you get where you want to go, I mean, listen to that advice. Try not to ignore it. At this point, you know, something for me like joining a club just isn't really on the top of my priority list as far as like things that I want. But I do think that's a good idea. You know, if what you want is to socialize more with people, get along, meet people, make friends, get out and just do something, it's like, yeah, joining a club seems like a really, really good idea. And I really enjoyed, you know, this is something in high school when I was in school, just being a part of like sports and stuff. It really like made a big difference on me, and I can't imagine what my life would be like without it, because it was just a good thing to be in, you know. My girlfriend should be in my videos. I thought about that. I don't know when I'll have her on camera, but you know, sometime. Do you want kids? Maybe. Not really something for me to think about right now. Why is nobody liking the video except for me? Do people just not like you that much? I don't know. People don't need to like the video. You probably just can't see it. There's probably something wrong with what you're looking at. Maybe you got to refresh it or something. I think you got to refresh it. I don't know. Do you see the family often? I personally like hardly see my family. I mean, I can't say hardly, but I don't live with them, so you know, every few weeks, every month or something like that. Do you have any hobbies or interests? For me, I don't have too many hobbies. I mostly just sit at home and do nothing, watch YouTube. This is my hobby. Me being right here at this moment is kind of a hobby for me. I like to go bowling. That's something I like to do, but other than that, not really much. I have everything going wrong for me now. I'm so stressed out, and I am still not back to school yet. It's been 3 months since I went to school. Yeah, I mean, feel free to let me know what else is going on. Go ahead and, you know, just, you're stressed out. I mean, I don't know what I can really say to you, but you know, it might not be a bad idea to try to work out how you're feeling and, you know, what you're worried about or whatever. You're very lucky your brain is normal because you look exactly oh my god. Be right back, gonna refresh. Okay. Yeah, refresh. Yeah, I'll block that person. I can't really do that, but whatever. Again, having a problem with blocking people. Yeah, I don't know if I don't really need moderators right now because I don't know. It's not like the chat is going by really fast. It's already been like almost 30 minutes, so I might just get going. I'm not really doing anything right now. I'm basically just here to just I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm live streaming. I'm not the most entertaining guy. I feel like I need to work on that a little bit. I feel like I need to work on coming up with more things to say that are like interesting and funny. But so what are some, I don't know. Like, what are some topics? What are some things that I could just talk about that are somewhat interesting? I don't know. I don't know. I might just get going. Ever feel suicidal? What are your opinions on suicide? I mean, I've talked about this a little bit, and I know that a lot of people are dealing with this. I don't personally deal with like strong suicidal thoughts. I kind of get the idea, like I kind of understand people who say that they're suicidal. I think that it is not the right thing to do. I mean, certainly I do not want anybody to kill themselves. I think that people who are suicidal feel like there's no hope. People who are suicidal feel like there's nothing that they can do, no options. And I think that it's really important to tell people or try to let people know who are at that point that there are options, that you can get better, and you got to take things one step at a time, and do everything that you can to help yourself. Reach out to people, talk to people about it. Definitely seeking out professional help, because you can't always have all the answers for yourself. Usually you got to look for somebody else to help you, no matter what this is. Every single area of your life, I mean, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do, you're not going to have the answers like of knowing what's best for yourself. Or at the very least, maybe a better way to put it, for me to put it, is that somebody else out there, the more you talk to people, the more you try to seek out advice from people, or the more you try to seek out wisdom, or you don't know everything. And my point is that if you talk to enough people, somebody's going to know something that can help you. And so I think with being suicidal, it's not a good idea to isolate yourself from people, because other people might have exactly what you need to feel better. That even goes for just being depressed. If you're even just depressed, I mean, seeking out other people for some sort of like connection and way to feel. I mean, yeah, just do that. Thank you for the super chat, John. I really appreciate it. I really, really, really appreciate the $2.99. You could have just made it $3. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I didn't even have to like ask for it. I really love that. Like, I always worry, like, sometimes I think, should I ask people to give me money on here? And then I think, no, don't ask people. That's not right. Don't do that. So I just love that you guys just do that on your own. That's very generous of you guys. Where am I at? You are entertaining. I love to watch your videos, to be honest. Well, that's great. Thank you very much for the compliment. I'm on a behavioral plan after I go to school. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that behavioral plan is, but I just hope everything goes well for you. I mean, I don't really know. Take it one step at a time. Whatever you're doing, hopefully you can, if you're looking to get back into school or whatever. Is that what you said you wanted to do? Or are you done with school? Sorry, I'm not, like, my mind's all over the place right now. But thank you all for being here, for sure. Hey, Kenny, you've been recently watching your videos. I recently taken a year off school to focus on my personal social anxiety issues. I'm pretty lonely and don't know how to talk to people. Yeah, I mean, social anxiety, what I think about that is, it is the fear of other people judging you. And I think a lot of that comes from our own personal insecurities and our own personal feelings about ourselves. So, for instance, if I feel like everything that I do is like I'm just bad at everything, if I feel like embarrassed about myself and how I look, or if I feel embarrassed about thinking I look weird to people, whenever I'm around people, those thoughts and those feelings are going to be there, and I'm going to project those feelings, and I'm going to say, oh, I bet that all these people that are here are going to be thinking about me as being weird, and I'm going to feel like everybody's watching me even when nobody is. So I think that with social anxiety, it's mostly important to try to work on becoming more confident. And a lot of times what that means is just facing your fears and trying at every moment just to talk to people, and and whenever you're trying to get over a fear, you ease yourself into it. Whenever you're trying to make any progress towards getting better in any way, it's always my general philosophy, I guess, is taking it one step at a time and doing the absolute smallest thing first, and then gradually working your way up to bigger things. A lot of people with social anxiety, like I have a problem even talking to people on the phone. Like, I get nervous whenever anybody calls. I will not answer my phone. Let me just say this. If somebody calls me and I don't know who it is, because of my nervousness or social anxiety or whatever, I won't answer it. And there are days, the problem with social anxiety for me is, like, I won't do things because because of my social anxiety. So if I have to go to the store and buy stuff that I need, I will think about the fact that there's going to be, like, other people there at the store, and because I'm thinking about that, I'm going to think I don't even want to go, like, because I'm worried about what they think about me. Now, in the recent years, I've actually been, mostly in the past several months, in the past year, maybe a couple of years, I've been doing a lot better with that. And I can still, like, feel it, like, at times, but I know how to override these fears that I have, because I know that they're irrational. I know that nobody really cares about me. It's a comforting idea to realize that actually nobody really does care about you as much as you care about you. So it's not, with social anxiety or the fear of what other people think about you, it's really important to understand that it's really just you who has a problem with yourself. It's really just you who worries about yourself. Everything is coming from within you. And a lot of times that's projected onto imagining that other people are thinking that about you as well. But it's not necessarily true that anybody is looking at you the way that you look at yourself. You are your biggest critic. You judge yourself more than anybody else ever could. And I think it's so important. This is something I've struggled with for my whole life, and I still struggle with it. It's a major problem, is I take myself way too seriously. And I feel like it's a really good idea to learn how to not take yourself, or even life itself, too seriously. That can really ease up a lot of stress. It can really ease up a lot of worrying about things, and that there's a lot of what's going on in people's minds is making things out to be bigger problems than what they really are. It's overthinking things. It's making them fear is sometimes irrational. Fear's not always irrational. Sometimes there actually is something to be afraid of. But the real question is, can you figure out what is a real problem to be concerned about? Everything's a real problem to be concerned about. You should be concerned about everything, but it's working out what you should prioritize, or it's working out what things are you making up in your head and what things are real. I guess that's kind of one way of putting it. I don't really know how else to better explain this. I apologize. I'm kind of going off on a long discussion here about this. I'm gonna move on, but never been close to anything to a relationship. What are your pointers? Okay, so with relationships, I don't really have the best relationship advice, so really, like, don't listen to me on this one. But I think a lot of times, it's hard if you're not in school, I think, to meet people. You have to be... If you're in a relationship, that's one thing. But if you're not in a relationship and you want to get into one, like, it's like, trying not to force it is a really good idea. Be genuine. Because if you're not genuine, if you're not authentically who you are, and you're trying to be somebody else, or you're faking it, or you're just, if you're not really you around somebody, then, they're going to fall in love with the fake you. So be yourself and don't be fake, because if you are fake, they're not going to really love the real you. That's my whole thing there. But I like to think about, also, thank you so much for the $15 super chat, Randy. I can't thank you enough for all the super chats that you guys are giving me today. You've already given me 2, Randy and John earlier. Thank you, Randy. I know that you've already given me like 40 or 60, or you've probably given me $100 by now over the past year. So thank you so much. You're definitely the top donator. Nobody's ever going to be able to top that. And I noticed that, and I really appreciate it. Relationships. My relationship, it just happened naturally, and I don't think that trying to force something to happen is a good idea necessarily. That's why I'm not really a fan of the idea of guys approaching random girls trying to do the pickup thing, because I think it's not very genuine. I think it can get to the point where it is borderline manipulation, not necessarily, but there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. First of all, a lot of times girls or women don't like to be approached randomly at the supermarket, or randomly. Not saying it can't happen. I'm sure it can happen. I'm not going to totally throw everything out the window. There's good stuff and there's bad stuff. I used to watch pickup artist stuff. Like, I used to watch all those videos on how to pick up girls and stuff when I was in high school. And I'll be honest with you, it helped me a lot. It really did step up my understanding of, number one, what do women want generally? Number two, how I can get over my fears of talking to people. Number three, understanding basic sexual attraction and stuff. But as far as I just think that realistically, you're more likely to meet somebody through a friend of a friend, or somebody knows somebody, or you're in a club, you're in a group. Like, I met my girlfriend in high school on the bowling team. Okay, we were both part of the same group of bowlers, so that's how we met. So if you're gonna ask me, Kenny, how would you meet somebody when you're not in high school? You're asking the wrong person. I don't know. So we got a lot of comments here. I guess I should probably read all these comments, because you guys are all saying stuff in the chat, and I've just been talking, and let's see, we have do you go out to the movies or eat out sometimes? I sometimes go to the movies or go out to restaurants, but not very often. I wish I wasn't broke so I can send money. Yeah, don't worry about it. You guys don't need to send me any money. Thank you, Randy, and thank you, John, for actually sending something. I'm from Pakistan. Great job. Let's see. I wish I could just have a normal life. No therapist, no ESS, no CCIS. I'm not going to read all that, but thank you for the comment. Being a part of all that stuff, you said you're 17, turning 18. I think it is a good idea to just, take your situation, like your mental health, seriously. So maybe it's not a good idea to give up on therapy, but I don't know. Who am I to really say what you should do or what you shouldn't do? But I wish you the best of luck, and I wish you to not be so stressed out. Hey, bro, I've been subbed to you since you had 1,000. I appreciate you being here. I've come a long way since 1,000. I've changed. I'm still the same, but I've changed in certain ways. And, I'm so thankful that, my channel is relatively successful. Not even relatively successful. Like, my channel is more successful than what I could have imagined, like I used to think that, oh, I'm just gonna make these videos and everybody's gonna watch me and it's gonna be awesome. And the reality of it is way better than what I can imagine, if that makes any sense. Katie Morton has some excellent videos on suicide, and she's a qualified counselor. That's good. I kind of haven't really looked very much, but I feel like there's not really a ton of like actually qualified psychologists or counselors out there who are making YouTube channels. They're normally just guys like me, weirdos, making videos talking about, oh, I feel depressed today. You know, I don't have answers for you. Like I don't really like know what everyone should do. Like, are there any universals? That, I mean, I think for sure trying to be as healthy as you can, there's obvious things, you know, exercise, eat right, you know, that's going to take care of, you know, some of the physical needs that you have. And I mean, it's like, I've noticed that my mood fluctuates a lot, you know, like I might be unhappy, or not necessarily unhappy, I might be in a bad mood because I just didn't have anything to eat that day, you know? So it's like, if I eat, like all of a sudden I start feeling better. That's obviously not like a solution to like actual like clinical depression. But, you know, I think looking at all the smaller things is a good idea. Start small, you know? I said that already. Sorry, I need to take a moment. I've been talking for 46 minutes, and I love you guys, like I really do. And you know, sometimes I'm trying to answer your questions, you know. I don't know. I'm just here. I'm catching everyone's negative attention in school. The situation is so messed up now. I could be sent to the therapeutic school if I mess up again and have another misbehavior. Okay. Everyone thinks I'm mentally unstable. Okay, I'm trying to... I don't know exactly what I can say about this. About your situation. Like, I feel like I want to be able to help you right now because I care about you, and I hate not being able to like know what to say, which is what I feel like right now. I feel like I just don't know what I'm talking about, and I feel like I don't know what I'm saying. I feel like I feel like what it is that I feel right now is I feel like I've been saying so much in this stream, and I'm just having this moment where I'm like, what the heck am I talking about? Like, do I even know what I'm saying? I really don't. I just have to talk, so I'm talking. I wouldn't have any social life if it weren't for one friend that drags me to parties and gives me drugs. I mean, don't do drugs just because people do them and you're around them. I mean, I'm not saying don't do drugs, but also I am saying don't do drugs because that's what you're supposed to say. But, I mean, it's not always a bad idea if, you know, the only way that you're having a social life is if one person just invites you to places. I mean, most of the time, my entire past social life has just been because I knew somebody who invited me somewhere. I have no idea how to deal with my situation. Everyone's scared of me. I claim myself as a stalker. Excuse me. Joked about weapons. Yeah, I mean, you got to be really careful how you present yourself to other people. Like, especially, like, making jokes about weapons in school. That's some pretty dark humor, which it sounds like that's kind of what you're going for. But not everybody's going to get it, you know. Like, sometimes people like take that stuff seriously, and you should expect some people to take that seriously. It's everything that you do is gonna have consequences of some sort, and everybody's gonna potentially view you however it is that they view you. So, I mean, one thing to think about is, do you care about what other people think about you? And if you're saying that people view you as being unstable, and people view you as, I don't know, people being scared of you, I don't know, like who is saying this, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to really say much, like, does YouTube make some of the money from Super Chat? Yeah, YouTube does. YouTube takes a small cut. Not even a small cut. They kind of take a big chunk. Patreon takes 5%, and YouTube takes, like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think. They might take like 25% or something. Any advice on someone with no other option than suicide, like moving away from people forever? Definitely, there are always options to suicide. There's always alternatives. I'm gonna have to let you guys go. It's getting to that point where I can't go on anymore here. I'm just running out of energy to talk, and I don't know what to say anymore. You're not gonna be able to get much more from me. I said everything I wanted to say in this episode. So if you missed it, go back and watch it. If you were here the whole time, thank you. I don't know. Like, I want to keep doing these live streams, and I really, really, really like talking to you guys. I really care about you all. I wish you the best. I don't have the answers to help all of you. I wish I did. Take things one step at a time, you know? I don't know how to end this, to be honest. I feel like I need to go to school to be a clinical psychologist to be able to know what the heck I'm saying here, because I'm not one. Like, I don't have the experience dealing with stuff to be able to, like, give any credible pieces of advice or instructions or anything. All I can say is learn to love yourself, accept yourself, be careful what you do, because everything has consequences. Try to look at things not just as the negative, but try to see the positive. Take things one step at a time. Like, these aren't necessarily just sayings, because I think that there is a truth found in a lot of, like, little sayings like that. I'm not the right person, though, to go to for help. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you guys next time. I don't know. Just bye. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. They help a lot, and yeah. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you all for being here. I wish you the best. Have a great week. See you next time.